very, very tight in here. Latrobe Airport. Thank you.
You can't get them. I'm glad I made you smile. There. There it is.
Somewhat, yeah.
Where are you going?
Related to the zebra because of their white and black striped legs, but they're not. They are the only living known relative of the giraffe. They have skin-covered horns on top of their head called ossicones, just like the giraffe, and a really long tongue they'll use to grab leaves off of branches. They can also lick their eyes, ears, and even nose if they have to. Okapis are also extremely shy animals, which is why they were not discovered until 1901. Up until then, they were just believed to be a myth. Just up ahead here, a black rhino coming up here on the left. It's a little further up. There's actually less than 5,000 of these black rhinos in the entire world today. That's because they are poached every single day just for those keratin horns. Black rhinos can also weigh around 3,000 pounds, fully grown, and they have a pointed upper lip, so they can easily grab leaves off of the small bushes and trees in the area. Rhinos also have 3 toes on each foot, and they can charge at speeds up to 35 miles an hour. We're also not going to make any sounds to any of the animals around here. These are their homes, and some of them have very sensitive hearing, so we will be respectful to them. It looks like just ahead of us, coming up here on the left-hand side, 2 types of antelope over here on the hill. The reddish-brown antelopes up there on the left, those are some bongos, nicknamed the ghost of the forest because of how rarely they are ever seen. And both male and female bongo have horns. They are in fact tilted back on the top of their head, so they can easily navigate throughout the forest. Also here to the left, the tannish-colored antelope. Those are greater kudu, one of the taller antelope here in Africa, getting about 5 feet tall at the shoulder. However, we can also tell are female because they do not have any horns. Only male greater kudu have them, and they can get about 6 feet in length. That is the longest horn on any antelope. Now, it looks like we're heading out of the forest and down to the Safi River now. Hopefully in the Safi River, we'll find some hippos, but you gotta keep a close eye on because once hippos are underwater, they can be pretty hard to see most of the time, blending in, looking like big rocks underwater. Seems like there's one hanging out a little further back here on the right. It will be harder to see, so let's check a little further up. We usually have better luck up ahead here. Fully grown hippos can weigh well over 5,000 pounds, and they are very territorial. I'm not afraid to show it. Definitely don't want to get too close to them. Seems like there's one here on the left by the island there. Another thing that makes hippos a little harder to find during the day is the fact that they don't really swim. They take a deep breath, sink all the way down to the bottom, then walk along down there. Whenever they're ready for another breath of air, they'll just come right back up to the top, take another deep breath, and then sink right back down. Now all the white birds on the island to the left out there, those are pink-backed pelicans. They got that name because the feathers on their back turn a light pink color during mating season. They can also have up to an 8-foot wingspan when they are fully grown. And a group of pelicans, that's called a pod. A pod of pelicans. Now, it looks like as we cross over this rickety bridge here, down out to the left over there, some Nile crocodiles. They can get about 20 feet long, weigh around 500 pounds. They can also easily eat over 200 pounds in just one meal. So they usually eat about once a week. However, they can also hold their breath completely under the water for up to 2 hours at a time. Not the type of animals you want to mess with. And a group of crocodiles on land, that's called a bass. And a group of crocodiles down in the water, that's called a float. And whenever you see the crocs lay there on the shore with their mouths wide open, it's not because they want to eat you, it's just because they're trying to cool off. That's how they do it. They'll just lay on the shore and open their mouths as wide as they can. And that's because they really don't sweat like us. Over to the right side here, that strange upside down looking tree. That is a baobab tree, and it's not actually upside down. It's just leafless, and it can stay like that up to 9 months of the year. That way it can conserve water in its trunk to survive long periods of drought. And because of that, it's also known as the tree of life, and they can live to be over 1,000 years old. Now, as we make our way down into the savannah here, this will be one of the best views of the savannah from up here. Out on the savannah, the animals will actually work together to shape how the land looks out here. Elephants, they'll knock down trees in their way. Giraffes will eat the undersides of the trees, and then antelope will come along, eating up the grass, keeping everything nice and tidy around here. Looks like there's a giraffe wandering about up ahead here. It's further out there to the left. We'll get closer up to it in just a few minutes. Now, giraffes are actually the tallest animals in the world, reaching heights of about 20 feet tall, fully grown. Newborn giraffe, however, they're just around 6 to 7 feet tall. And a group of giraffe, that's actually called a tower. A tower of giraffe. We can also tell that the giraffes around here on the reserve are actually Maasai giraffe. That's just by the rough edges on their brown spots. The reticulated giraffe actually have more of a smooth, clean-cut edge on their brown spots. Further out there to the right, an Ankoli cattle, a few of them out there. Their big white horns they have may look really heavy, but they're not. They're actually hollow with a honeycomb-like structure inside. That way they can pump their blood in there and keep themselves cool. They're also a sign of wealth. The more of them you have, the wealthier that you appear to be. However, they're also sometimes known as the Watusi cattle because they were first domesticated by the Watusi tribe. Over to the left, like just on the other side of those logs at the top of the cave, there are two spotted hyena up there. They can actually eat about a third of their body weight in just one meal. They're also not in the cat or dog family, as their front legs are longer than their back legs. The female hyenas are also a lot more dominant than the males. The lowest ranking female is still higher than the lowest ranking male. Now on either side of the truck up here are some termite mounds. The animals like to use them as scratching posts, because they can be just about as hard as concrete. And eventually, over time, will wear down. Like the one further out to the right, that's when the smaller animals will actually use them like a perch, so they can look out over the savannah. And we should get a little closer up to those Ankoli cattle here in just a moment. Looks like they're further out there to the right, just as soon as we get around the turn. Also, that giraffe's still wandering about there to the right as well. You actually rarely ever catch a giraffe laying down in the wild. It would take too long for them to get out if a predator was to come by. Which is why giraffes actually sleep standing up at night, which also isn't too much of a problem for them, considering the fact that they only sleep for around 30 minutes every night. And it's not even one period of time, it's about 5-minute increments, totaling up to about half an hour every night. And then they pretty much spend the rest of their time eating. In fact, giraffes eat so much, they have a dark purple tongue, so it doesn't get sunburned while they do it. That tongue of theirs can also be just about as long as your forearm, so they can easily grab leaves off of the high branches. Looks like we're going to see more giraffes just as soon as we get around the corner here, even a little bit closer up than that. Further over to the left out there at the bottom of that hill, those smaller antelopes all kind of gathered together there. Those are some springbok. They actually got that name because they can spring forward up in the air about 6 feet repeatedly when frightened. They're 15 feet when running, and that's pretty much as big as they get. They only get around 3 feet tall, and they can run just about 50 miles an hour when they need to. Alright, looks like we're going to get a little closer to those giraffes here in just... Their young can actually run within 15 minutes after birth, otherwise they will get left behind. They're also known as gnus because of the grunting sound that they make. Wildebeests can also go about 5 whole days without drinking a single drop of water. Looks like there's also one more coming up on the right-hand side, pretty close to us. Make sure you stay nice and quiet, and keep hands inside as we pass by here. Make sure we're still staying fully and completely seated back there as well. There's still no standing at any point, at any time, for anyone. a little closer up to those wildebeest are further out on the hillside over there to the right. We'll have to see what else we can find just up ahead here. Alright, just around the corner up here, some greater flamingo out here to the left. They can get about 5 feet tall, weigh around 9 pounds. They're the largest flamingo. However, they do have the least amount of pink on them. The lesser flamingos actually have more of that pink coloring on their body. The greater flamingo, however, they got their pink coloring from their diet, mostly the brine shrimp that they eat. Over to the right-hand side, those 2 tan antelopes at the top of the hill on the right out there, those are some elands, one of the largest antelope here in Africa. Fully grown males get around 6 feet tall just at the shoulder, weighs somewhere around 2,000 pounds, and still have no problem jumping just straight up in the air, 8 feet high. And both male and female elands have horns. Males have a spiral shape to them at the base of those horns. Left down there, a mud hole. Rhinos like to make something like that so they can roll around and cool off in the mud. Mud also acts as a natural sunblock and bug repellent because rhinos have very sensitive skin. So they actually keep themselves coated really, really well in that mud throughout the day, so keep an eye out. We could find some rhinos around here. They could also be about the same color as the mud. Looks like just up ahead here around this corner on the hillside, there's a cheetah walking around up here on the left. Just walking up there. There it is on the far left up there. There's a second one by the rocks there. Now cheetahs, they can actually run about 60 miles an hour in just 3 seconds. They also use their long tail to help them steer while they're running. There's also a third one walking around way far back at the top of the hill. Now, cheetahs are also the smallest of all the larger cats here in Africa, only weighing about 100 pounds, and they don't really hunt anything bigger than themselves, because they're usually pretty much afraid of anything and everything bigger than them.
Oh, that's Lacey.
Huh?
That's Lacey.
Yeah.
Looks like there's 2 more on the left up there as well, playing on the hillside there. And we'll have to see what else we can find up ahead. Just up ahead, here's a Kobe Rock formation where lions like to hang out and spend most of their time as they are inactive throughout the day. About 16 to 20 hours of their day is just spent lying about here on the rocks. That's because they do all their hunting and stuff at night, because they have 6 times greater vision than us at night. So if you have any luck of finding them, looks like they'll be up here on the rocks. Looks like a male and 2 females there. Now the female lions, they usually do the hunting for the pride, while males actually tend to stay back and protect the pride. Also there on the left, a water buck. They have an oily substance on their fur to help keep them waterproof, and they tend to live near aquatic environments. They can easily dive into the water to get away from any predators. Unfortunately though, that oily substance makes them smell really bad. That's to keep away the predators, and so they can also fight. Also here to the left, another water buck. We can tell they are female water buck because they don't have any horns.
Looks like a dog.
looks like over to the right down there is a fox spot laying down on the ground. Fox spot are related to the wildebeest, and they are very shy animals. Unfortunately, though, they are almost extinct in the wild because they are hunted for that beautiful coat they have. Also, some ostrich eggs down there on the right. Those can weigh around 3 pounds each. You can even go stand on them, and they won't even break. And just one ostrich egg is equivalent to about 2 dozen chicken eggs. Keep an eye out. We could find some ostrich around here. You never know. Most of the animals you've seen on the reserve today are either endangered or pretty close to extinction in the wild, which is why they're only found on reserves like this. So if you want to help some animals out to save them for future generations, you can donate to the Disney Wildlife Conservation Fund at any merchandise location here in the park. I will be dropping you guys off actually at the same boarding post that I picked you up from.